Today we're throwing the Deps twin tail death adder grub 4.5 inch. This is northern strain style. Let's go.
I'm a fishing man out on the lake. I got a boat full of tackle and a pole that'll never break. Well, over on the lake in a shady little nook sat a sweet little thing trying to bait her hook. The way she looked in her bathing tan, I almost forgot I was a fishing man. But I'm a fishing man out on the lake. All you need is a line and a pole that'll never break.
Oh, there we go. So it's midsummer. There's been an epic outside weed line bite, but whenever you have super calm conditions for a week or so, you'll get a bunch of these surface bugs, and hopefully you can see them on the camera glistening in the sunlight there. But it brings the panfish in, and then the bass follow. So do we. You can rig it up a bunch of different ways. Texas rig, put it as a jig trailer. Carolina rig it, free rig it. Yeah. Same old stuff. We're throwing it topwater style. Rigging it on a weighted hook, 3/0. And then it's not a real deep wide gap, so it's still pretty slim when you're bringing it through the pads. The way this bait is shaped, it's got a real narrow body profile. So when I had it rigged up to fish topwater, man, it came across the weed growth perfect, and these two tails, the two tails would flap kind of like a ribbit frog, but not as aggressively, and it left a beautiful little bubble trail. Nope. Went Deps twin tail. Oh no, come on. Don't want to apply too much pressure and rip the hook out. I'll just ease on up to him. Hopefully he's still on. Yep. Whoa. Little tater chip. So when you're fishing soft plastics for topwater baits, unlike, when you're fishing a hollow belly frog, you have two hooks in the back. So with the soft plastics, you got your single hook. For me, 75% of the time, this is what I'm going to run on a soft plastic. There is times where I will run a double, like ribbit frog style hook, but a lot of times I can get a single weighted wide gap to just run a lot truer without it flipping upside down, and also holding the hook point to make it weedless better. And with this one hook, instead of the two hooks like on the hollow belly frog, when you're fishing these baits, it's summertime, the water's as warm as it's going to be, the meat that you're hooking into on top of the fish's mouth is super soft. So a lot of times when you get these fish on, instead of just heaving them out, you know, you almost want to get them wrapped up in the reeds and then troll the motor up and pick them out. And otherwise, if you keep heaving and hoeing on them with the single hook, you're going to rip that hook out and lose your fish, and that'll be that. There we go. Deps twin tail grub. Getting crushed on the top. Get over here. Oh, it's a fatty. So when you're fishing this bait through thick vegetation, you know, if you're bringing it over the cheese or through the lily pads, if you point your rod straight at the bait and use your reel to crawl it over stuff, you know, little lifts of the rod if you have to, but it'll come through really clean that way, and you won't have to pop your line up as much because it'll be coming straight towards you in a tight line. Instead of when you're popping it, your line throws a little slack and it might wrap around that pad or that reed. So just keep that in mind, and it'll come through a lot easier, a lot cleaner. It'll work the bait a lot better because you're maintaining contact with the surface the whole time. So what I'm throwing it on, just my standard frog rod. I love this rod, the Topwater Elite, that's 7.4 frog rod. I believe it's the Ish Monroe frog. But yeah, got it on the old Topwater Type R 8:1 gear ratio, 40-pound braid. I feel 40 pound is heavy enough. Don't need to go up much heavier. And the 40 pounds a little bit thinner, so when you do get it stuck in the weeds or whatever, you can just rip it out and it rips through the weeds really good. And man, great setup. Oh, there we go. Deps twin tail. Right on the edge of the pads. It's a big one. There's the big girls. Shallow.